How's it going, everyone? Michigan 1777. Just wanted to cover something real quick here. I know more of you are wanting A90J videos. This is in that realm. I'll be posting more later, but I want to talk about the game mode because I had a few comments talking about how the A90J and all these new cognitive TVs and their last gen TVs don't support VRR or ALLM or variable refresh rate auto latency mode. And I just want to talk about this. Sony, first and foremost, picture quality. That is their number one priority. That's always been their priority on their TVs. That's why people buy their TVs. For their game mode, that is included. You can go to Whisper Status and he says they have one of the best, if not the best looking game mode on console that you can purchase. So this is where I'm going to get into it. You look at Samsung, and I'm going to talk about Samsung here, because you look at their variable refresh rate on their last gen of TVs, their current gen TVs. What does it do to their local dimming algorithm? It destroys it. Their local dimming algorithm gets destroyed. Black levels are raised. HDR is not as impactful. So your games end up looking washed out. They don't look as good. And now if you're Sony and you look at that and you say, wow, my PS5 is going to do that to my LED TVs. Wow. We can't have that. We pride ourselves on image quality. So you look at OLEDs. I'm sure their OLEDs are not as bad. It's more the LED line that they're trying to worry about because they don't want their local dimming algorithm to go to crap. So you look at LG. LG's got their stuff. Fine. It works well. LG's image processing is not the same as Sony. So if you're going from a theater experience, Sony's TV theater-wise is going to be better than LG's. That lifts them over. Gaming-wise, LG's TVs are going to be above Sony because it has more of those features. But it's still capped at the 40 gigabits per second, while Sony's is capped at 48. The regular HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. So you get into the game mode on Sony TVs and you want it to look good. You want it to be full bandwidth because you know, as a company, and I know people have said that there's no collaboration going on between Sony, the Sony studios, and all that, or the Sony divisions and whatnot. I don't think that's fully true. I would heavily doubt that there isn't a PS5 sitting in the Sony TV division, and they're using that currently to figure out what they want to do for VRR, ALLM. The reason I say this is because we're still so early on in the PlayStation 5 life cycle that Sony knows that their cash cow, the PlayStation, could sell TVs. And this is where we get into the business side of things and the sales side. You want to make a game mode that makes your PS5 stand out, and that makes your TV stand out. LG can sort of do this, but there's still known Black Crush issues in their game mode. There's still known issues all on their gradations of color. And while it's decent, it's not perfect. Sony says to themselves, we need to make sure that our game mode works well and works perfectly with our PS5. So you come forward, and the new TVs get announced. It hasn't been completely figured out yet, the game mode. And now you're going to say, well, if we do get this figured out, what do we want to do? We can't release the update now and then put out our new TVs. And this is where you start getting the questions. Well, what if Sony does have the update done on the last gen TVs? And the reason that they didn't put it out is because they don't want to cannibalize their current TVs, the market. So the cannibalization of a current market, if you release the old TV update, now people are going to just say, oh shoot, I'll just go buy the 900H. I mean, it's got all the features that the current X90J, X95J is going to have. I'll just go buy the 900H, save myself hundreds of dollars. You don't want to cannibalize your market. And being already that there's supposed to be lower amount of manufacturing and everything else from last year because of COVID, you don't want to not sell your current generation of TVs. So you say, well, let's withhold that update a little bit. Let's make sure that we can cover our butts on the current generation of TVs. I think Sony has their last generation TVs, the VRR ALLM, done. I think that they finished it pretty recently. This is all speculation. There's no inside sources. But from a business perspective, it makes sense not to put it out right now. So you delay till winter 2021, and then you work on your cognitive processor, which all the current TVs have. The higher end and mid-range TVs are going to have this cognitive processor, and you're going to be able to roll one update out to all those cognitive TVs. You're going to be able to roll the update out to the old TVs, and you're not going to cannibalize your market while also maintaining your promise that you're getting those gaming features that the people ask for. And because of this, it's winter 2021. Your last generation of TVs are nearing selling out. Your current generations of TVs are probably still being slightly manufactured. If not, you're focusing on 2022. And you're putting all the game modes out. You're making everyone happy. You're fine. Here's the big thing with gaming right now. Sony's doesn't care about Series X. That's not a big market. Sony doesn't care about PC. PC players are playing on 144 hertz monitors already, 240 plus, whatever they want to play on. If they want to play at higher refresh rates and higher frame rates, they're buying monitors. They're not buying TVs. They're not buying Sony TVs to play games on. So what does that leave you? It leaves you the PlayStation 5 market for gamers. That's it. It's not the Series X. They don't need to worry about the Series X because they know that PlayStation is the cash cow. So by focusing on PlayStation, by focusing on the non-cannibalization of your market, and focusing on the future, you're getting full bandwidth, 48 gigabit per second on the A90J. When the update comes out, it'll come out, it'll work. When it comes out for the X95J, their local dimming will not be destroyed because their PlayStation's algorithm and whatnot will be the main focus. That'll be the most important thing for them. And it'll maintain a good game mode all around, even at 120 hertz, even with variable refresh rate. Everything will maintain consistency, and that's what I think they're looking for. Sony is consistency. Samsung is about being first. LG is about being the middle ground where, you know, you give or take. You get the features, but you have to take a little bit away. And when you pride yourself on making something that works right, which Sony does, you're going to take longer to do that stuff. Does it give an excuse to say last year that they're promising the update and it hasn't come out yet? I don't think that's necessarily right, but I understand why they're doing what they're doing. So if you are looking at the current generation of TVs and saying that it's a promise for the gaming, just realize right now, if you don't have a PS5, it shouldn't hurt you. It doesn't matter. Even if you have a PS5, there's no games out that are going to be taking advantage of this. And if there are, the ones that are going to be running at 60 frames per second are going to be last-gen games. Probably getting a PS5 update, and they're going to run probably pretty consistent 60 frames anyway, so VRR doesn't even really matter. And they're already going to have VSync. So there's really nothing important. The focus should be the future, and for the future PS5 games. You get your game mode right now, and when the new games start coming out on PS5 that start to push the hardware a bit more, you're going to start seeing that VR is going to become a little bit more relevant, but Sony TVs are going to handle it correctly. So anyway, that's my opinion. It's all speculation. I just wanted to put it out to tell you not to be deterred by the late updates for game mode. I think Sony's just trying to do it right. Anyway, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will be covering the A90J more. I just wanted to put this video out because I think it's important to talk about, and that's basically it. Anyway, hope you all have a great evening, and I'll talk to you all later.